A very good evening to everyone. On behalf of Proptech Foundation, welcome to our mortgage management user Zoom tonight. Thank you for taking the time to join us for this wonderful webinar to be shared by two distinguished guest speakers. That is the Datuk Noordin Abbas and Dr. K.M. Cheong. Tonight, our webinar carries the theme Stop Repaying Blindly and Start Managing Wisely. So, with that, ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to introduce our first speaker, Datuk Noordin Abbas. Datuk, the floor is yours.
Hello, thank you very much, Florence. I'm very happy to be able to participate in this Zoom session to talk about our mortgage management services. What I intend to do is to treat this session on a very informal basis, where we can just communicate with a mixture of both English and Bahasa Malaysia. And also, if there is any question later at the question and answer session, people can just ask anything they like. What I will do now is to, there's some noise at the back there. Is anybody's mic open? Okay. What we will do now is we will talk a little bit about the situation of Malaysian economy and Malaysian economy specifically dalam family debt, household debt. Some people call it family debt. Some people call it household debt. As we all are probably aware, the ongoing war in the Middle East, has impacted the entire world, and we are also feeling the impact of it. What happened is in Malaysia now, people can start to feel the rising cost of living. Okay, the rising cost of living, like the price of petrol. The most significant is the rise of petrol. The others is the rise of certain grocery items, among other things. Now, this have impacted, the household expenses. Kalau sebelum ni, our household expenses is about 10,000. Now, probably our household expenses can go up easily 15 to 20%. To a lot of people, this is major. To a lot of people, this is problematic. To a lot of people, this adds pressure to them. Now, having said that, I will try to share with you all some statistics or information. Malaysia have a total household debt of like 1 year ago about 1.6 trillion ringgit. I am sure by now the amount of household debt in Malaysia have reached to maybe nearly 2 trillion ringgit, and that is huge. Now, out of the household debt of 2 trillion ringgit, more than 80% comprise of mortgage. So which means if my which means out of my total debt of probably ataupun out of the total debt of 2 trillion ringgit, 80% of it constitute mortgage payment. So mortgage payment is very important, number one. Number two, what makes mortgage payment very important is unlike all the other household debt or household expenses like go dinner, go for trips and all that, which we can control. Mortgage is something that we don't control, and also is something that have given us a lot of headaches, a lot of migraines, a lot of problems, because we cannot do anything about it. If we are supposed to pay 5,000 per month on mortgage, we will continue to pay 5,000 a month. Okay, another problem that we are facing with mortgage part of the household expenses is that this is one of it that we never bother to learn how to manage. We leave it to the bank, and the bank will proceed with their own mortgage system. We just continue to pay. Excuse me. Now, for us, as long as we are able to pay, we are okay with it. We don't care so much that perhaps we are paying a little bit more than what we should be paying. Now, all these things happen because of our naivety of not knowing how to manage our mortgage payment. Now, even if you were to go to the bank and ask the officer in charge why the statement is such and such, and a lot of the details in the statement you are not able to understand, I can tell you now, even the bank officer would probably not be able to explain to you. Why? Because this is being handled by the bank automated system. They don't know. They will just say, well, they will try to explain to you. And yang salah kita, the one that is at fault is us, because we do not know how to find solution on how to manage our own mortgage payment. All right? So that becomes a problem.
Recording in progress.
Now that becomes a problem to us. Okay? Contoh lagi, ya. Suddenly we realize when we get statement, there are quite a number of things which we cannot explain, and when you go and see the bankers, they are not able to explain as well. Okay, so this will result in our family expenses not being able to be handled smartly by us. Nampak tak? So this is a problem. This is a problem that we are facing. And sometimes we realize that when we receive statement, when we check, suddenly we understand that, we see that the tenor have been extended by, contoh, our tenor is supposed to be a 20-year loan. Suddenly we realize that 10 years have been extended. And we do not know the reason. And when we go and ask the bankers, they don't know also how to explain to us. Okay, the beauty about this is, because in Proptech Foundation, which later Dr. Cheong will be able to explain in more detail with more technicalities, and you will see how it is being done. My role here, what I am trying to do, is for you to know that there is a way for you to be able to manage your mortgage payment. You don't need to rely on the bank. You would know exactly if you have been paying interest which is more than what is being fair. you will know, you will have a lot of information. So this is the thing that Proptech Foundation is now able to participate and to advise. You know, we hope later, I mean, in the long term, we will be able to work very closely with Bank Negara, of which Bank Negara will, in all their realization of what is happening, they will probably be using later our system to make sure that they help the customers, the mortgage owner, on how to manage and reduce interest payment and reduce loan tenor. And this is what will happen to us now when we continue to understand better on what Proptech Foundation is going to offer us. Now, before we proceed, sometimes, or there have been quite a few times whereby people think that Proptech Foundation is trying to give out loan. No, we don't give out loan. We advise, and you can subscribe to our system, a system that allows you to save on interest payment, a system that allows you to shorten your loan tenor without even you having to pay through us. You continue to pay to the bank. You continue to pay to the bank. Our system that use the same algorithm, you know, the same algorithm with that of the bank will be able to communicate using AI with the bank system. And that particular two different system, one, our system, second is the bank system, they talk to each other, and they will then be reducing interest payment and loan tenor based on what our system communicate with them. Okay, again, I have already explained a little bit that by subscribing to us, you are not taking any risk. You are still paying directly to the bank, but you will be able to see a vast difference in terms of how to manage your mortgage. Okay, now what is happening right now is we are running a certain campaign that using our system, we would be able, we would be able to check what we will be able to check your mortgage situation using our system that we call mortgage management review. It's a review system. It's a review of your existing mortgage to see whether you have been fairly treated by the system of the bank, not by the bank, yeah, by the system of the bank, whether you have been fairly treated. Contoh, you are having a 30-year repayment period. You have already paid 10 years. By right, a certain percentage, the review will tell you when you have already paid 10 years out of 30-year repayment period, your principal repayment should have reduced by a certain percentage. If that happens, you are being fairly treated by the system of the bank. But more often than not, you would realize later that after having paid 1/3 of the tenor, your reduction of the repayment is still very small. What does it mean? It means that the large portion of your monthly installment have gone towards interest payment. It has not gone towards reduction of the principal. Now, this happens to more than 95% of the people. And what makes it worse is that these mortgage owners, they realize that that is happening, but they cannot do anything because when they go and see the bank say, well, this is the system. You know, But with our mortgage management review, you would be able to see, okay, by right, my principal balance should have been reduced by certain amount. And if it is not there, then you will know that you have been shortchanged. You should know that you have now fallen towards the unfortunate end of the stick. You should, or we together as clients, should be able to do the proper way, which means manage that particular mortgage payment so that we will not be victimized by the system. You know, when you look at the mortgage management review, after you have given us your information and we do mortgage management review, my God, you will be surprised. I, as a former banker, I know one thing. Commercial banks, they focus on the benefits for their shareholders and the increased profitability for their depositors. They have two they have two entities which they protect, and that is their shareholders and their depositors. They don't talk about the customers because their responsibility is towards their shareholders and their depositors, as long as they are not against the law. And normally, mortgage agreement, it's all covered. It's very difficult to blame them. It is our responsibility to tackle this in the right way. First of all, listen very carefully to the presentation and the explanation pertaining to management review. Participate in it, know your status, and if you realize that you have been shortchanged, seek for the solution that Proptech Foundation is able to provide. I am telling you, out of the entire figures of nearly 980 something billion, okay, let's say nearly 1 trillion, yeah, nearly 1 trillion mortgage outstanding, nearly 1 trillion of mortgage outstanding, the majority of which homeowners do not check or manage on their own. They totally rely on the bank. They have a blind trust towards the bank, and they have always realized that whenever they have problem, it is quite late. You know, out of the total payment that they have made, they would realize that the major portion they have gone to interest payment. This has got to stop. The bank, the system, the mortgage system in the bank have to be fairer, optimize benefits for the clients. But then to do that, we have got our role to handle. We have got to be accountable and responsible enough for ourselves, for our family, and do not let whatever payment that we make goes to the bank solidly without reducing our principal. Two things I want to highlight again. Do a thorough mortgage management review, which will be done for you by Proptech Foundation. Then number two, you can then choose how you want to subscribe to our system. You will later realize, yeah, if you subscribe to our system, the payment for our service is very minimal. I can guarantee you that. I can guarantee you that. And you don't have to sign with us a long-term contract. We do on a yearly basis. Why we do on a yearly basis? Because every year when you subscribe to our system, at the end of each year, you would realize that actually Our system gives you 99, more than 99% perfection, accuracy of the statement that we provide you. Meaning to say, when we give you our system, the system is so precise, you have nothing to worry about, and you would never want to stop subscribing to our system. The payment for our service is peanuts. The savings of interest payment on your part can go to hundreds of thousands. The shortening of the loan tenor, if we can save, if we can shorten your loan tenor by 10 years, and you imagine you are paying a monthly of 5,000 ringgit per month, we save you 10,000, we save you 10 years. It's a lot. It's a lot. 5,000 per month times 12 is 60,000 per year. Time 10, it's 600,000 savings for the 10 years. You can use your 600 savings for your children education. You can use your 600,000 savings to go on a world round trip. You can do a lot of stuff with that. Because a lot of people, they realize that when they retire, they still have got to pay a lot. Why? Because the system doesn't work for them. The system works to maximize the profit of the bank. The bank don't cheat us. The system is such that it maximizes their profit. The time is now for us to do the right thing. Check with mortgage management review, number one. And if you realize where you are, subscribe to the system, on how to reduce your interest payment, on how to fast track the loan tenor so that you will be able to achieve financial freedom very fast. The responsibility is us. The accountability is us. The time is now. And the time ends with us. I hope you will be able to listen carefully to the presentation by Dr. Cheong. One thing I have to say, Dr. Cheong is so good at this, and he has a lot of real life example, real life cases of which homeowners have been shortchanged by the system implemented by the bank, which they agreed earlier. You listen to Dr. Cheong, I can guarantee you, you have nothing to lose. You will be the one that will be gaining and saving hundreds of thousands. I think I will end my talk there, and I will hand back to Florence nanti at the end of the session. If you all have any question, you can ask and we can answer it. And if we are not able to answer your questions, we will make sure we come back to you and we will provide the precise answer. If it's not today, it's tomorrow. If it's not tomorrow, it's 2 days after that. But we will make sure we will come back to you to make sure that you are happy with our services. Back to you, Florence.
Thank you, Datuk. We appreciate your valuable sharing with us tonight, and we shall proceed to the second speaker, Dr. K.M. Cheong.
Florence, are you there, Dr. Cheong?
Oh,
Yeah, thank you,
someone
Datuk.
muted
For us,
me.
your